Here are the 10 different methods in the modern days through which you can manage to do sales. However, it will primarily be and will depend to a large extent as to what sort of a product or the services you intend to sell to your potential customers. What are these 10 methods? These are the ones. The first one coming to you, inbound sales. Now, sales can be generated in the form of ensuring that the prospective customers who are interested to come and buy our products, can be reached. So we can create a system, we can create a mechanism in such a way that people reach out to us and buy the products, and you could do sales happening down. This is one way of doing sales. On the other side, we have the outbound sales, where we can go out and meet people and reach out to a larger audience and do sales happening down. So inbound and outbound, these are the primary two methods of doing sales. However, against this, within this framework of broad inbound and outbound, there are multiple ways through which you can still manage to do sales. How is that? The second one, we are talking about a business to business. Now, business to business would mean is that I produce a product and it has been consumed by another company. So that's called a business to business. एक कंपनी ने प्रोड्यूस किया, दूसरे कंपनी ने उसको खरीदा, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस का सेल हुआ. दिस इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. ये आपको बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स में देखने को मिलते हैं. सो वहां पे आपको इस तरीके का बिजनेस देखने को मिलता होगा. ऑन द अदर साइड, you could also see a business to consumer basis. Now, business to consumer would mean is I am producing something, then I have a large wholesaler, then I have a dealer, and then eventually the product is being sold or bought by the end consumer. That is called the business to consumer. एक वॉशिंग मशीन बनाया मैंने एक लार्ज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को बेचा, उसने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर ने डीलर के पास बेचा और फिर इसके बाद में एंड कंज्यूमर के पास चला गया. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड बिजनेस टू कंज्यूमर. दिस इज देयर. The third one is the direct to consumer. Now, I produce something and I do not use the mediators like distributors, mediators like dealers, and directly sell the material to my end consumer. So this is also another method through which these days products are being sold. A classic example could be is Mama Earth, a product which is primarily for skincare products, is being sold this way. So direct to consumer. This is one. There's another model called the distribution and the agency model. Now, distribution primarily is involved, or companies which use distribution method are the FMCG businesses. So where there's a product being manufactured, then you have a super stockist, then you have stockist, then you have multiple distributors across the country, and then you have the retailers, and then you find the end consumer buying the product itself. So that's another method through which you could do sales. The seventh model is the dealership model. This predominantly is being used by large automobile companies. So for instance, Maruti produces a product. Since the value of the product is so high that it cannot have multiple layers of distribution partners with them, so the company goes about choosing dealers, goes about appointing dealers in respective countries, respective locations, cities, and so on and so forth, and make sure that the product is being sold. So Maruti, Hyundai, Mercedes, Toyota, all these companies adopt this method of selling. So dealership is also one way of doing sales. Yes, there's another way is the franchisee models. Now, when we talk about franchisees like Nike, franchises like Adidas, franchises like Puma. Now, all these companies have their own stores, which are called as the COCO stores, company owned, company operated stores. But at the same time, they also go about encashing their brand name, their brand value in the form of giving franchises. franchisees who are primarily the third parties representing that brand in that particular location or in that particular city. So this is also another method through which you could still go about selling your product. Of course, yes, there is an institutional sales. I make a product and I do not use the methods of dealers, distributors, but I directly manage to go and sell it to the institutions. Now, there's a fundamental difference between B2B and institutional sales. Please understand one thing is in a B2B business, you produce and then there is a company which directly consumes it. Here, you could be probably as a trader. You could be representing some company and going about selling it to another organization. And hence, there's a fundamental difference between a B2B and an institutional sales is this, right? And of course, the largest and the final one is the e-commerce, the online platform sales. There are many organizations which very strongly have gone about encashing e-commerce platform as their best method of doing sales. Mamaearth has been one of the classic example. There are many such companies. The fact remains is, according to the nature of your product or the services, you only have to decide as to which is the right method. There are fundamentally only two ways through which you could do sales. Either I reach out to more number of people or the potential customers reach out to me. Yes, there could be multiple subsequent methods in reaching out and doing sales. But on a broad level, there are only two ways, either inbound or outbound, right? So, according to me, I believe that these are the 10 different ways through which you could still manage to generate sales, right?